Thank you for the follow, Nicholas. Or Alex, I suppose. Nicholas, Alex. And hello, Felius. You having fun with 24FX? It's a pretty good album. I think I've got everything set up, so just another minute or so, and then we'll start with Animal Crossing. This time, let's see, what happened last time? I made some bells, but not enough to actually pay off the house like I was trying to. So, depending on how lucky I get with the fossils, because I turned in a lot of fossils yesterday, like 4 or more, maybe 6. Depending on how lucky I get with those, I'll either be very close to or over the number. And then I can buy the house upgrade, and that won't take effect until tomorrow. But then I'll start the point where, like, I don't want to start immediately working on my next house upgrade. I probably want to use some of the money for furniture now that I'll be getting either a close to full size or a full size house. So maybe earn a little bit extra money and then start seriously looking at what Nook has for flooring, walls, and because he now has 2 pieces of furniture. I think like a big furniture and a small furniture over on the side of the shop since he's upgraded. Yeah, I think I'm gonna actually try to start focusing on decoration. I don't know if I'm gonna get like good Happy Home Academy points or anything, but like I could probably do a little better than I have. That's true. I actually haven't gotten that in a couple days. I should probably run around and just see what it is. See if it's anything cool. I mean, one time I did randomly get a slot machine out of a tree, and I dug up like an imperial chair, exotic chair. I don't know. I dug up like a pretty nice chair. It'd be nice to be able to complete that set one day. What's the next big holiday? Because it's relatively easy to get complete sets from holidays if you like play the entire holiday. And if there's a holiday that's also on a stream day, I might just make the entire stream that Animal Crossing holiday. Would it be Halloween? I'd have to play that one at night. So that would be October 31st. October 31st is a Tuesday. So I might make my stream start later on that Tuesday and then just make the entire stream the Halloween event. Like, because the Halloween event actually needs some preparation. You need multiple outfits in this game because you have to like get candy by like trick-or-treating multiple times dressed up differently, I think. It's different in every game, but then there's a point in time where all your neighbors like suddenly dress up like Jack and start menacing you. Like you're just being chased by all these people wearing pumpkin heads, and they will trick you if you don't give them your candy. I'll have to look into that, but yeah, I'll see if I can get a full Halloween set. I want to say in this game, the Halloween furniture is just like bizarrely, incredibly, eye-searingly orange. I don't know if it's actually a good design. Later it gets pretty cool. Like in the newer games, it gets kind of like a little bit like Gothic style. You get little like bat like things you can hang up on your walls, and you get the spooky chandelier. But what is the Halloween set? Animal Crossing GameCube. Celebrated by all villagers, okay. 6 p.m. to 1 a.m. So I would definitely start this stream after dinner and probably just continue it for as long as I need to. Okay. You will be able to get the full Spooky series. Oh my god. Okay, let me just save this image. Let's show off what this shit looks like. You cannot run around with money in your pockets. Oh, I think it's purely candy in this one, but I do not remember really how anything works in this game. It's been a very long time. Look at this shit. It's just everything is a jack-o'-lantern. Is that like a clock dresser? That's weird. I kind of like the really wide face on like the little dresser, like not the tall one, but the kind of one in the middle top. That's a pretty good one. Or how the mirror is the mouth in that little one over there too. I could definitely make a Halloween room with this. Yeah, it's like lower. That's not normally how you'd put the face, because you want it to be readable. You want it to be like the size of a person. But this isn't too bad. The blue kind of and the purple stand out a little bit nicely against it. The floor and the walls are okay. I might use like a dark grass for the floors and maybe like a night for the walls. Like make it look like it's outside, like a pumpkin patch, rather than strictly using those kind of like repeated jack-o'-lanterns. We'll see, we'll see. Will I have time to actually get a furniture set before then? Don't know. Depends how much bells I get, but with that said, it is definitely time to start. Hi. Actually, let's get the controller out. Very nice. This goes over here. Okay, my controller started immediately. That's a good sign. Wrong game. Can you imagine if I play Daggerfall and then I play Oblivion and I just or Morrowind and I just I'm just laughing at my own joke. But yeah, that's a good redeem. That's a good redeem. Can you imagine if I like play the entire Elder Scrolls series and I get to the point where I'm like playing Skyrim? How many years would that take? I don't know. I am on the right game. I believe it says Animal Crossing. We'll try to keep an actual track of that so people know what I'm playing, yes. It's Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday. Yeah, it would take a while. I don't even want to think about how long it's going to take me to beat Daggerfall, but that does not matter. Because I can absolutely just like spend 100 hours in Daggerfall and that's fine. Oh, I never actually sent these other ones. That's a shame. I should do that right now before I forget. I did, however, get 3. So not 6. We've got a mammoth skull. Okay, that's a new one. We've got a dinosaur track. I actually can't remember if that's a new one or not. I think we've gotten that one already. I never repeat the same cause of death. See how far I can go. Oh, you're talking about like don't let yourself die in the same way and try to like play every Elder Scrolls game? I don't know about that. I've already been killed by spiders like 3 times. Ooh, mammoth torso. Okay, we're actually getting most of a mammoth here. This is good for my museum, but actually a little bit bad for just selling these to make money. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna walk up and I'm gonna mail these even though I need to go down to the museum. In the process, I should check out the dump. Oh, very nice, very nice. Good, good. I was just imagining like a weird difficulty mod where it's like you can die any number of times, but once you've been killed by one thing, you can never get killed by that same thing again. Sort of like a fool me once mod in a bizarre way, some sort of like inverted Iron Man challenge. Where it's like the first time you die of fall damage, that's perfectly fine. The second time you die of fall damage, we delete your save. That could be kind of interesting. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've seen people do all sorts of goofy shit. Like, there's this guy who is his name Settled? I don't know. He did a run of a playthrough of RuneScape called Swampletics, where basically he trapped himself in a very specific area of old school RuneScape and then did not leave that area for any reason. And he tried to figure out like how much of the game could he play like this. This is a tiny little shitty area that like doesn't have that many quests and stuff. Like, can I get enough gear to do like this end game challenges without ever leaving this weird swamp that I have stuck myself in? And he was able to do it. He's actually able to finally beat his goal. And it took a huge amount of planning and like a lot of weird shit. Like, this enemy has a 1 in 1,000 chance of dropping a knife. No, I haven't, but that sounds like the same thing. But like, he was like, I need this knife to do fletching. So the only way to get this knife is to like camp this very specific enemy. And he'd do all sorts of like goofy shit to get things that shouldn't be difficult, but because of his own self-imposed challenge are. He also did a much more recent one called Tile Man, where it's every time he gets 1,000 experience, he gains 1 tile. And then when he uses this little like add-on, he puts a little marker on the tile, and that is a tile he can walk in. Other than that, he cannot walk on any tile. So he like has to really plan out like everything he does to gradually like build these roads between areas, and he's not allowed to go off them. And it kind of sounds like the road challenge for Skyrim, but he literally has to build the roads. There's gonna be gyrides now because it was raining yesterday, isn't there? Yep. Nebuloid. They're the ones that go like they make space noises. But yeah, I might need to look at that one. I think Swampletics, despite the fact it's very long, is definitely worth watching, even if you don't know that much about RuneScape, just because his like energy. He has this like very specific way of describing what he's attempting to do, and like letting you know how painful it's going to be to achieve it in the way he's set out, and then he gradually works towards it. Tile Man is also good though. He's the kind of crazy person who basically has like done multiple Ultimate Iron Man runs of RuneScape, which basically means that it's RuneScape, but you can't buy anything on the Grand Exchange and you can't use a bank. So it's like literally everything you have has to be something you obtained either by quest or by drop. And everything you have is all you have. You can't store anything unless you like specifically painstakingly make a house, and then furniture items can only specifically store very certain items. So like there's a lot of points where it's like, if I drop this pickaxe, I will literally not be able to get a pickaxe again. So I guess I have to drag it around, and it's like all these weird like balancing acts where it's like, I need potions, but I'll take 3 inventory slots. I can't possibly give that up. It's an insane situation, but it can be entertaining to watch. Okay, so the dinosaur track is old, so at least I can sell it, but mammoth skull. Oh shit, not only did I get 2 parts of the mammoth, I actually already had the 3rd part. That is our 2nd complete dinosaur. Let's go check it out. Yep, they did. I actually saw a full-sized model of a, actually it was a mastodon, not a mammoth, so it's a slightly different elephant-like creature, but you know, they're big. It is perhaps the first animal whose extinction was contributed to by man, though certainly not the last. You are correct, Blathers. Throw in all the other like mega predators that existed in North America that people kind of got pissed about, just like crawling into camp and stealing your family members away. So we painstakingly killed them with sharp sticks and fire over a period of, you know, 1,000 years or so. There's a reason there aren't like random giant cave bears walking around anymore. Because people just took offense. Okay, got the plesiosaur. And the... ooh. It's facing this direction. Yep. elephants kind of have this strangely shaped skull, because a lot of the shape of an elephant is kind of the ears and the trunk and stuff. And when you take that away, all you really see is this, like, you kind of can't see it on that skull, but really what you see is this massive sinus, like, in between the two eyes. It kind of almost overshadows the eyes. It gives you the impression that it's some kind of, like, tusked cyclops creature, if you don't really know what you're looking at. I really should be shaking trees. Let's do that. I'll probably find a bee if I just shake everything. Whatever, that's fine. I haven't actually caught a bee, so technically if I have very good reflexes, I could just like spin around, like equip my my net and immediately spin around and catch it. Oh, 100 bells. That's not gonna happen is what I'm saying. I kind of want less trees in this area, to be honest. There's so many trees to shake. I want like a couple. But I can't make it too bad or it's gonna hurt my town rating, and I still have the idea eventually that I'll go for a golden axe. Probably is my last golden tool because it's such a pain in the ass. Though, if there's like a single fish or bug, excuse me. If there's a single fish or bug I can't get until I like wait many months, I guess in the meantime I could just do the golden axe. And then that makes me think of like the arcade game Golden Axe. And that's an arcade game? I think it's a home console too. It's not a game I ever played. It's just I know the name of the game and I have a vague idea of like what it looks like and that it's a side scroller. But I never know if it's any good. I think it was like Genesis. It was like on a Sega console, which I never owned. Was it on TurboGrafx? Okay. This is bad because I think I'm gonna hit the tree if I try to... Yeah. God. I was not standing in the right position to go for that, and I didn't really have time to readjust, but... That's fine. That's fine. You don't even get to keep the honeycomb. It just vanishes. Wait, what? I heard that. That was bells. Can't be a fruit tree. Okay. So this area with all the trees is pretty well checked. Could easily be like one I missed, but maybe a couple. This area though. For some of these, I'm just relying on the sound of the furniture. If it fell, I'd be able to hear it go like, ooh, and I'd know to look for it. Remember, it's like 98K for the next house upgrade, and anything over that can go into furniture. And this dinosaur track's only gonna give me like 1,000 or 2,000 at most. So... Oh yeah, I got a gold stereo. I should try building around that gold stereo and make some kind of like fancy modern room when I actually have furniture to use. I have space. I'm finding all the 100 bell bags today. I've already found the bees, so things can't get any worse. Wait, it was bells. How many of them are there? This is actually incredible. I found like 8 so far. I wonder if there's 10. Just 1,000 bell bags for 1,000 if you're willing to, you know, pick them all up. And so far only 1 gyroid, but I think as I search the upper part, that'll change. We have a basketball to go with the sort of like volleyball one we had before. We have... They only stack to 5? That's a huge pain in the ass. Whatever, 5 is what it takes to actually get a raffle entry, which will happen at the end of the month. Let's not kick it in the water. 1 p.m. Maybe KK Slider will actually show up this weekend. Oh, once again, I will check. Hopefully there won't be a meteor shower this time. Imagine having this cool radio and then like literally 0 songs. Oh, there it is. A standing stone? Is that just gonna be like a Stonehenge part? Oh no, I already have the stone wheel and now I've got a stone. Now I've got like weird stones. Okay. Maybe instead of a nice modern place, I'm just gonna build a weird monolith in my house. This can't stay here. Is this one to museum as well? Okay, so I'm just gonna grab this. Gonna have to definitely buy the paper today. We're gonna have a choice though, because there's 2 different papers, so. Ooh, a mini nebuloid. Wait. So I have 2 different nebuloids now? Mini and squat. Yeah, there's like a lot of different sizes of gyroids. It's like mini, squat, small, tall, mega. Like they're all sorts of, they all sort of have a different, like how short they are and how wide they are. And it affects the kind of the tone of the sound. That is an expensive bug. You can tell by how shiny it is. That's how it works, right? I didn't know if that was gonna work, but any closer would threaten to scare it away. I missed this song yesterday. Like, because it was raining, they played a different version of 1 p.m. It didn't have cats in it. I didn't know that happened. Or maybe it's just general rain music and it actually overrides the hourly themes entirely. Don't actually know how it works. I just know it was different music. Oh, we got paper. Ooh, oh yeah, this is that kind of like Japanese pattern. I like this. There's like a misty shirt like this, and I like the misty paper. Right? And while we're here, let's just mail these other 3. So far we will have mailed 6. Oh, yeah, if I get the shirt, I could actually make it. Oh. I do not have a stomach for gambling today. The last money tree did not work. I'm just gonna dig up my bells and go. Oh, hey, Taro. Wait, oh, we have a friend. Look directly to my character's left. It's here. Some people keep these as pets, you know. Please don't. I'm good. So it apparently is mantis season. I guess they're just rare. Either way, the first one's going in the museum. Any subsequent ones may get a part in the house. What the hell is that? There's like a stone lantern. Do you really want me to like start a summer is mantis season? Yeah, I love the summer. I love it being like over 100. It's so great. The mantis. Yeah, that's me. The mantis. Well, let's sell my other stuff without accidentally selling the mantis. Jewel beetle, once again, 3,000. Pretty impressive. Like 1,000 for this? Yeah. Ooh. I would like to sell... coral? Look at that strawberry umbrella, too. 96,000. Okay, so let's seriously start thinking about what we'd spend money on. That's a stately wall. It's interesting with the panels, but I don't think I'll ever make a room that'll need those colors. Psst, kitty carpet. That's the one with, yeah, the puzzle pieces. No, thank you. A pond lantern. And I got a blue clock that actually doesn't... The blue clock actually doesn't look that bad. I could see that blue clock, even though it's a pretty bright blue, I could see that fitting in a number of different places. Wait. No, mail is this way. I like this feature. This sudden turn. There's no way I'm getting that. I don't have the right tool. Ah! That was such a good chance, but no, I already have that dragonfly, so it's not a big deal. If anything, it would probably be worth like 2 or 3K. And if I try to do one more, it'll be like, nope, it's full. Please leave and come back. Yep. And then I can mail one more letter, and then I'll get rid of that paper in my inventory, I think, by writing an additional letter to the mail to be used tomorrow, or to the museum to be used tomorrow. No, I'm good. Get this out of my inventory? Yeah, sure. Sanding stone. Fossil or gyroid? Kinda hope it's a gyroid, but let's see. A mini botoid. Okay. Does it have a bow tie? Does it sound like an oboe? I don't know. I know there's like one gyroid that sounds like a weird cow. It's just like mrr, mrr, mrr. Yeah. Oh, hello, Kabuki. What are you doing here? Okay, so. Yeah. And then nebuloids make cool noises. Hello, Nye. And the Botoid. Absolutely has a bow tie. And sounds kind of like an oboe. Okay. Do I? Am I perhaps sick? Or do I have some sort of stupid audio setting? I'm mostly in your left ear. What? I mean, I could see if that's a thing I'm doing accidentally. I'm gonna say that's probably not the case. Wait. There is a stupid setting on this. There is a stupid setting on this mic. One second. No, it's on cardioid. That's what I was checking. Is it on the cardioid pickup pattern? Or is it like on the one where it literally picks up the entire thing, like all the way around it? So if my head was slightly off, maybe it'd be more in one direction. I don't know what it is. But if anyone else hears weirdness, please tell me and I will actually dedicate some time to fixing that. But I didn't mean to pick that up. I should be fine, I think. I do feel a little bit sick, actually, so. Interesting. I don't know why that would be the case. I guess what I'll do then is I'll just like listen to this stream afterwards when I'm editing it, and I'll see if I notice any weirdness on that. Maybe your headphones are just having problems. I mean, I don't want to wish that on you, but possibly. Of course, I need to make sure that this is plugged in correctly. Yeah, no, that's actually plugged in. That's my gold stereo next to my gigantic stone coin. I can just drop this stromboid over here. I can still access the stereo, right? I don't have any music because KK Slider doesn't like me. I can sell that tape deck. And what's the stone look like? Yeah, they're just like these weird Zen rocks. I'm selling that. I don't need this. Hopefully it sells for some money. And what would you like to do? I'd like to put my lotto tickets into this so they stop taking up space. I still need to donate the mantis that I found. But in the process of getting back down to the museum, I think I'm going to do a run around and try to make a little more money. Because I'm very close to what I think I need. A single jewel beetle would put me over, actually, but I can't guarantee I'll get one of those. Meow. Do do. Do 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 do. Do do. Do 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 do. Do do. Do 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 do. Yep. The balance is right in the middle on my side, so if it's weirdness, it's some kind of weirdness that I didn't cause just by accidentally hitting a setting, which is a little more troubling. Because when someone says there's weirdness and you look and you see the sliders like completely... Dang, this guy's having a bad day, I guess. Or maybe he just got over it. You ever just decide you don't want to be sad anymore? That guy did. Nothing special. The cicadas are kind of expensive though because they're seasonal bugs. New Bug of the Month Club. Clean up the beach a little bit. And then... Okay, I have room for one more. Is this a conch? Yeah. Yeah, you know, you sign up, you get a bug. You know, the bug of the month this time is Tribolium castaneum, the red flower beetle. And then you open the box and all the red flower beetles escape and menace the local, you know, livestock. Oh, agriculture, I suppose. Everyone will love you. Yes, indeed, that's a mantis. Good job, Blathers. You finally noticed. Please leave it in the container. Do not let this mantis free. It's fine, Blathers. Okay, one sec. I'm just putting this on Twitter. I don't know why, but let's just go for it. But yes, I am aware of you. I'm sorry. I can see you over there. Its eyes, they're they're far too judgmental. Come on. Oh wait, I actually didn't get that one. Interesting. Sometimes the snipping tool messes up and you don't get the actual thing you want. But yeah, don't worry, I'm not judging you. My eyes are just always like this. Yeah. I have these. They do stuff. Ooh, scary. I don't think I have anything else. Ooh. I don't think this will be a fourth gyroid. I think this will be a fossil. Yeah. I don't think you can get more than 3 gyroids in a day. That just doesn't seem right. Though it would be cool if you could. Just like the length of rain determined it and you could just get a ton of them. Nope. I'm never gonna find the rock of the day. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to do the other button. Okay, sell this, this. Oh, that counts as no. That's weird. I'm gonna check the post office. I might be able to just pay off my loan right now. I might be slightly too low. Depends. Ooh, let's be really poor. Let's only have 900 bells. Yay, I'm completely debt-free. Hey, Tom Nook, can I get some more debt? Thanks. This is how you get a good credit card score, by the way. I'm not joking. Once you pay off that debt, you better get some more debt, otherwise you're gonna be punished for it. Is someone feeling it? Did someone pay off their debt and suddenly have their score go to absolute crap? It's one of those funny things you don't really think about what credit score means. Credit score is the ability to pay back your loans. If you don't have loans, you have no ability to pay them back. Okay, so we're doing expansion again. I don't want a basement, I just want a bigger house. Another color. I want green. People use credit score as like a proxy for a lot of things that it kind of isn't, you know what I mean? It's just your ability to pay back debt. Yeah. It'll go back up considerably if you find yourself in debt, but maybe don't find yourself in debt. I wouldn't recommend doing that just for the hell of it. Oh, look at this thing. It's like a purple fish scale. Wait, I wonder if this purple fish scale would actually make a good background. No, that's like almost unreadable. That's horrible. Oh, yeah. If you had, like, no debt and also no credit card, I can see why your score would just be, like, terrible. But yeah. Having a credit card is always, like, small amounts of repeatable debt until you pay it off. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I can't really say anything about that. But it is a number that means a specific thing, essentially, is what I was saying. So I've accomplished my goal for today. I've actually paid off my house and I've gone for a bigger house. Now anything else is just making a little bit of extra money. Because I even found the special furniture. It was a rock that I didn't want. So let's see how lucky I get, or is it going to be oops all jellyfish again? Oh my god. So if I walk off screen, it might despawn that butterfly. So maybe I have to hope it comes up here. It's not going to. Wait. Ooh, wait. If it flies over here again, I might be able to actually get it from up here. It might just be a perspective trick, and I have no chance of actually getting it now that I think about it. Because, like, the net goes down, but I'm not sure if it actually... Okay, I'm just gonna make the rush for it. Go down. Hopefully I don't despawn it. Run back up. Don't run too much, though. Did it fly over here? No, it's gone. Okay. Okay. Oh my god. Just those things. It's like 60 bells. I don't even know why I caught it. Nothing. Oh, for a second I thought it was like a very large fish, but no, it's just a normal fish. A normal jellyfish. A boot. Stop throwing trash in the water. In a new Animal Crossing, they should let you catch microplastics. You know, make you feel really bad about the current state of the ocean. Just like be constantly, or like not even microplastics, just constantly be pulling up like Coke bottles and stuff. I scared that one away by doing that slide, yeah. That's my own fault. What will your philosophy discussion be about? Okay, so we will be doing the second chapter of Nagarjuna's root. Well, it's like, it can be translated in a variety of ways, like root discourses on the middle way. Basically, the first chapter, the entire book is an argument about that. It's an argument with other Buddhists, basically. And there's because the Buddha said that things don't have, that there are things that we treat as if they were real and concrete and self-existent that actually aren't. And an example that's commonly given is a chariot, okay? We look at a chariot and we say, this is a chariot. It has chariotness. It has the quality of being a chariot. But at the same time, we also acknowledge that you can take the wheels off, that you can take the bolts out, that you can completely strip it apart. And you won't actually find any like chariotness in the pieces, because it's mostly just a convenience thing, right? We're discussing a thing that serves a purpose and we're giving it a term that's good for conversation. But some people go a little bit too far and they treat these things that are assembled for our convenience as if they are like independently have qualities outside of what we use them for. So for instance, like, you know, people say like, you know, these are good in and of themselves. Nagarjuna, like most Buddhists agree that that's not true. But at the time, there was a group of Buddhists called Abhidharmists, which basically means that they really adhered to Buddhist Abhidharma. Abhidharma being a like elucidation of what the Buddha talked about many hundred years later. So it's possible to kind of disagree with it. I don't believe you're interpreting that correctly, kind of thing. And what they say is that while things like a chariot are definitely not self-existent, that there still are things in life that are self-existent. That fire burns because it has the quality of fire. It has fireness. Fire is real, even though, you know, it's yada yada whatever. That some dharmas exist but other dharmas are false and don't have independent existence. The Garjuna basically is trying to say, well, if you admit that some things are fake and don't have independent existence, then you have to describe why these other things are different. And he gives the example in the first book of, okay, so you have fire, right? And you're saying not only does fire exist conventionally, like I'm looking at it right now, I know it exists conventionally. You're talking about like ultimate existence, that it has like a fire soul somehow inside of it. If you're saying that, then you have to say, well, I had tinder and now I have fire. I lit the fire by doing a certain action. Where did the fireness come from? And he basically goes like really pedantically through that, and he shows that like either the fireness always existed inside the wood in the first place, therefore why do I even need to light the fire if the fire's already there? Or the fire didn't exist until I created the conditions, in which case then what caused it? Did the woodness like magically transform into fire? Did the fire like just come into existence randomly? Was it uncaused? Or did the fire somehow like cause itself? Well, it didn't exist in the first place because that would be ridiculous. So it couldn't have caused itself. Like nothing couldn't have caused it, because if nothing can just cause fire, then there would just be fire everywhere. And it's like this other thing, it's like, well, that's not really a satisfying argument. He basically goes through and comes to the conclusion that like his idea basically is, I cannot conceive of anything that really is independently existing. Anything in this world seems like it happens because of conditions. It happens because of cause and effect. And in that way, it is only a thing so much as we name it and talk about it. It is a term for convenience, not an actual description of the ultimate nature, you know. And we say in modern times, fire is just a chemical reaction. It's ridiculous to treat fire as if it's made of fire. But that's basically what he's saying. You can't just say like, what is fire? Oh, it has fireness. It has the qualities of fire, being heat and light. Because that's not really an answer. The second chapter is going to be a completely different argument about the same topic. We also actually did a really kind of annoying argument where he was talking about time. He was trying to get very specific about like, when does this happen? When does the thing come into effect? Does it happen before or after? It can't be during, because during is like an infinitely small amount of time. Like where does it exist? When does it exist? And I didn't like the argument as much, to be honest. But the next argument will be something entirely different, and I will go through, I will read it, because I don't just read, like anyone can read the Mula Madama Kakarika. It's like for free on the internet. But I have multiple translations, and I also have multiple commentaries, some of which are historical and some of which are modern. And we'll kind of just be going through and trying to pick apart the argument and see if I like it, see if I can understand it. And eventually my brain hurts, to be honest, and I just end up playing a bunch of Animal Crossing. Because, you know, I'm interested in this stuff, but that does not mean I'm smart enough to understand it. But I do my best. That's Fridays. If that sounds fun, show up. And after we get through this book, there's actually a number of other things we can do. I'll probably be moving away from Nagarjuna because this is very much his like magnum opus. This is the thing he's remembered for. And like he's from like 200 AD, okay? So like more than 1800 years later, people are still talking about this book he wrote. I think it's fair to call it his magnum opus, right? like the very fact that people, like, they don't remember anything about him really, other than the fact he wrote this book. And there's like so many commentaries, and it started all these like philosophical schools. More importantly, it started a philosophical school that really takes off in East Asian Buddhism, and eventually becomes like the defining philosophy of Tibetan Buddhism specifically. But it also is pretty big in China and some other Southeast Asian countries. So we can do a lot of other things. I might like, because I'm completely crazy and because I kind of want to read the book already, I might try reading like The Great Treaty on the Stages to the Path by oh my god, what is his name? Tsongkhapa. Tsongkhapa is a much more recent, I say much more recent, he's from like the year 1200, okay? Like that's 1,000 years after Nagarjuna. That's much more recent, but it's still a long ass time ago. he wrote a book that basically it's a lamb rim, which is a genre of book that purports to explain the entirety of Buddhism in one book. It is literally translates to the stages of the path, the road. It's basically describing, here's what you need to do to get to where you're trying to go to. And he wrote a very well regarded one that's quite long. I mean, is the Great Treaty on the Stages to the Path. Okay, I'll get to it. I could hear that. But yeah, no, I think I might want to eventually read that because I have read some stuff by Tsongkhapa, much shorter stuff. Like I've basically read his treaty on the 6 yogas of Naropa, which is it's very straightforward. Like it's not theology. It's straight up just, if you do this, you will achieve this result. Here's how you concentrate. Here's how you meditate. Here's how you sit. And it's incredibly straightforward. It reads like an instruction manual because that is kind of the genre of tantras. Like sutras are like, I'm going to tell you a story and the story is going to have a meaning, where tantras are more like, I'm going to tell you how to do this and then you're going to see what it looks like. And some people respond a lot better to that kind of thing. They don't want a story hiding a moral lesson. They don't want there was this guy who did this thing. They want, no. You want to have a religious experience? Here's how. Have fun, don't hurt yourself. And there's very much a lot of don't hurt yourself in tantric literature. It kind of implies that if you do it incorrectly or you kind of just go into it half-heartedly and you spend a bunch of time alone meditating and visualizing, it can kind of, mess up your brain a little bit. So don't do that, obviously. Just do exactly what I tell you. No, I am not. I am not at all accredited to speak on these matters. But what's your story? I need to drink some water. Thank you. Yeah, I like the ability to create a timer in Vignon, and then the timer triggers something. Like it triggers something immediately, and then the timer turns it off after a period of time. That makes these redeems a hell of a lot easier to manage. Like I don't have to physically cause that sign to happen. It just happens and disappears after 10 seconds. In the same way, like one of my other redeems persists for a period of time and then turns itself off. It's quite a nice system. I won't say it's perfect. It's sometimes quite frustrating to deal with, but it's the best thing I've found so far, which, I don't really know anything about this. This is my second week of VTubing. Like, I spent some time before I started doing my best to understand everything, but like, I'm not an expert. Come back in a year or so maybe, and I can say I actually understand what I'm doing. Like I looked into some sort of, it's like a combination face tracker and hand tracker and like 3D environment thing. It has all these features. You can switch between multiple cameras. Like I saw KK Slider, KK Cyber. I saw her posting about it on Twitter and I'm like, oh cool, it's on Steam. It's free. I'm gonna try it. And then I just like hated the way the hand tracking worked. It doesn't work at all. Like it doesn't work at all the way I need it to. It's like not even as smooth as this. Whenever I move my hands even slightly down, they just like boop, and they're gone. But I assume that the real utility of it is that the face tracking is quite good, and it can like accept ARKit like from iPhone. So I assume the face tracking is at least as good as everyone else's, and that the ability to like set up 3D environments and like switch cameras and stuff is like really good for the purpose of doing like performances, which is why KK was doing it. She has need of that kind of stuff. I have less need of that kind of stuff. I don't think you're gonna get a concert out of me. I'm sorry. The closest you'll ever get, perhaps, is me playing music I like in VR chat. I wouldn't even call it DJing. I don't know how to DJ. There's quite a few people around me who are learning how to DJ, and like I do not have time for that right now. I am learning how to stream. I'm learning how to exist as this mantis. I suppose I already knew that. How to exist on Twitch as this mantis. Oh, hell yeah. Let me just read this and then I'll respond to it. Neat. That's really cool, actually. I wonder what sect he was, like what type of Buddhist. If he like stands out because of the robes, he's like a monk. He's part of the monastic order. Depending on the color of the robes, you could probably figure it out. It's also kind of another interesting thing, is that while like Buddhism exists a lot in orange is yellow. Yeah, okay. I know. I don't know enough to like precisely describe, but I know exact. I can picture it in my brain of what you're talking about. Yeah, they have like the kind of orange yellow robes. My brain just like is picturing a certain look. But what was I gonna say? Oh, Buddhism exists a lot within like a monastic community. Like Buddha was big on you join the Sangha, which is to say you become a monk to do this. But then there's also a lot of people who practice Buddhism at bug. There we go. A lot of people practice Buddhism as lay practitioners because, of course, it's a religion, right? You can't have every single person in your religion be a monk. It doesn't work like that. But then also you have, like, especially in Tibet, you have this, and in India too, this weird, like, counter movement where it's like you have these people who aren't monks, who don't abide by monastic, like, principles. And they don't even live with other people. They live alone, which is kind of against it. Like if you live in the Sangha, you are constantly around other people. You are not by yourself. That's the whole point of it. It's a community. But you have these like almost like cave yogis where they are people that are known to be incredibly skilled at what they practice. But at the same time, they operate outside of the normal community. And they're respected and kind of thought of as a little strange. But at the same time, the cave yogis of different sects, like there's like the Bon religion, there's people who are a little more like Hindu rather than Buddhist, and there are more strict Buddhist ones. Like those people interact with each other more than the official like communities of the religions do. Yeah. There's no way to know about that. But the thing is, so you get a lot more like crosstalk. It's kind of strange because you have these people who are, for all intents and purposes, hermits, right? They're often in the wilderness practicing their religion, but in a strange way, they like correspond with other weird people and they read the literature in the field being living by yourself and practicing religion in a cave somewhere. So you get like these people who by all means should be very isolated, but then you realize like, oh yeah, he was corresponding with this guy in India because they somehow were on, it's weird. It's just this weird thing where you realize that like these like very like large communities kind of like wouldn't talk to each other. It's like, oh, I'm the leader of this kind of Buddhism. You know, I'm not going to talk to you. You have different accepted books, right? We make some different assumptions back there, and as such, our teaching curriculum's completely different. Yeah. And eventually there's a movement called the Rhyme movement in Tibet, which is basically as Buddhism, because for a while Buddhism was not just I caught an empty can. You can't throw it back. For a while, Buddhism was actually the state religion in Tibet. And by that, I mean it was like literally enforced by the armed forces. That was a long time ago, but it was for hundreds of years. And then there's a period of time where the empire, because I believe it was like, there was like a monarch at the time. There totally was. It was a monarchy. Stopped like basically enforcing Buddhism as the state religion. And specifically because of that, he stopped enforcing a specific kind of Buddhism. Ooh, goldfish. As the state religion. And people were a lot more free to like disagree with each other and have actual arguments about stuff. So eventually there's like a variety of schools. There's like the old transmission and the new transmission, which is to say originally some works came over from India and they translated them in a certain way. And then some more works came over a couple hundred years later. And then because translation was like more sophisticated, they translated them differently. And that caused a whole thing where you have like the schools that abide by the old translation and the schools that, no, we only go by the new one. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is eventually Buddhism kind of chills out a little bit and you get what's called the rhyme movement. And the rhyme movement is an idea that what we actually need to do is we need to preserve stuff. We just need to write everything down. We need to make sure that nothing is lost. So this person wrote a book called like The Treasury of Knowledge, and it's ridiculous. It's like in 14 or 15 volumes, maybe 20 volumes. It's crazy big if you ever see it printed out physically. And I want to say it actually recently got translated into English in the last couple of years, which was hats off to whoever did that, because that's a hell of an undertaking. But yeah, it just tries to describe all the different, I'm getting lucky today. It tries to describe all the different like factions and kind of what their viewpoints are and try to preserve as much as we can instead of arguing too much over who's right. Look, sometimes you just know, like it's debatable whether he would know how he did it, right? There's the idea of, I mean, to explain it, like obviously there's explaining it in a physical context. There's coming with like a more scientific evidence of like, you know, like how could he have done that? But within a religious context, I forget the specific word for it, but kind of as a byproduct of your practice, you eventually gain certain signs, I guess. And the entire point of the signs really is that you don't focus on them, right? There's a lot of really funny stories where there's like a Buddhist finds another guy and the guy is like capable of working miracles, right? Like there's a great one where like two people are walking and they're having a great conversation and one of them goes, oh, we need to cross this river, 1 second, and just walks across the top of the water. And the other guy's like sitting on the other side, just fuming. And he eventually makes his way across the river and he's like soaked and, you know, it's having a bad time because he just crossed it the normal way instead of doing it with magic. And he gets to the other side and he says to the guy, if I knew what you were going to do, I would have broken your legs first. Like, yeah, you can walk on water. Yeah, we know. Why are you showing off? Why are you using it to make your life easier kind of thing? Doesn't that violate the whole point? And there's like this idea of, you know, yeah, sure. As a byproduct of doing this stuff, things happen, but the things are never supposed to be the point. And I'm trying, I think it's like a biada? Oh man, I'm completely blanking on what the actual term is. It just means like ability or something, but yeah. Supposedly you gain all sorts of things. The one that's described like in the literature, I suppose, is that the Buddha was able to like recall all of his past lives and like relive them, and that's part of his like understanding being under the Bodhi tree. It was just like, you know, he was able to see like, I've done this before, I've done this before, I've done this before, and it didn't work, and it didn't work, and it didn't work, and here I am still. All these things I accomplished, all these things I did, and yet samsara. And yet I am here once again. I wish I had a way to actually deal with this permanently. And, you know, that's his whole thing. That's the idea of Buddhism. I'm not a practicing Buddhist, obviously. I mean, it seems very obvious to me, but I just find it really interesting. Specifically, it's interesting to see a religion write in almost like an instruction manual way. At least as far as I know, generally you don't find books by other religions that specifically like it would be really interesting if I did. If there was a book that talked about how to pray in like say a Catholic sense, like very, very specific detail on what you're supposed to be doing and what you're supposed to be seeing and like what the end result is. That's not something I've ever seen. You kind of just like do it, right? You're not worried about the technique so much. And it's really interesting to see like these manuals that almost they read like instruction manuals because they are. And that's just a completely foreign genre to me. And I'm like, oh, it's neat. And that's very much where I sit on this stuff. It's neat. So I want to learn about it. I don't profess any sort of ultimate truth. I have Animal Crossing for a bit. I'm gonna sell my stuff. And then I'm going to go on to Sonic Adventure. I think we're gonna do a sort of similar thing where we're gonna do as many levels as we possibly can. And then we're going to we're gonna keep giving all the things to my Chow. And then by the end of my stream, I'm going to check the VMU and we're gonna see how good the Chow has gotten. I actually have a screenshot of how the Chow was at the end of last stream. So we could do it before and after. We can figure out how quickly the Chow's growing up, actually. I've worked up an extra 15K after paying off my house, which means that I have enough for any reasonably priced piece of furniture. I guess if Gracie Grace randomly shows up, if she's in this game, I probably couldn't buy something from her, but let's save and quit. Do. So this will be the end for YouTube. So I'm just gonna say goodbye now. Goodbye.